Hey everyone, welcome to another deep dive with us.
Yes, welcome back.
Today we're going to be exploring love after marriage.
That's right, love after marriage.
We're talking all about what happens after happily ever after.
After the honeymoon phase.
Exactly.
What's next?
So to help us kind of unpack this whole topic,
Yes.
we've got this really interesting conversation between Emma and Max.
Mm-hmm.
And they give us some really, I think, refreshingly honest takes.
Yeah.
And actually some pretty funny laugh out loud takes
Oh, for sure.
on what it really means to build a lasting relationship.
I think you're going to love this.
So yeah, get ready for some quirky stories.
Absolutely.
And some surprisingly deep insights, I think, from this conversation.
Yeah, I was really impressed.
So to kick things off,
Okay.
Max actually had this really funny analogy about marriage.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
He compares it to a gym membership.
A gym membership.
I know, right?
At first I was like, what? But his point is that, with both of those things, there's that initial excitement.
Totally.
That promise of something amazing.
Yeah, you picture yourself like all toned and fit.
Right, exactly.
So, blissfully in love.
Yeah, and then reality sets in.
And then you actually have to go to the gym.
You have to show up every day.
Yeah, and do the work.
That's where the magic happens.
Yeah, it's not just signing up for the membership.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't get fit by just having a membership.
It's the day in, day out effort.
Yes, and it's the same with marriage.
Yeah.
That initial excitement is great, but it's that consistent effort
Totally.
that really builds something lasting.
It's like anything you want to get good at.
It takes work.
Yeah.
Dedication. Commitment.
It's no different.
I love that analogy.
It's so true.
It's so easy to get caught up in that honeymoon phase.
Yeah.
But really, that long-term commitment, that everyday effort, that's where the magic happens.
I completely agree. So we've got that kind of commitment piece of things.
Yeah, the gym analogy.
Yeah, but then Emma brings up this really great point
Oh, what's that?
about how, dating is all about presenting your best self.
Oh, yeah, of course,
But marriage.
Marriage, that's when the real you comes out.
Yeah, that's when you see all the quirks.
Quirks and
Yeah.
all the little things.
And they had some hilarious stories about these quirks.
Oh, I bet they did.
Like Emma's husband always leaves just a tiny bit of milk in the carton.
Oh, my gosh. I know that type.
Right.
Like, they can't bear to waste it, but it drives you crazy.
And then Max's wife, she's apparently a master at leaving every bottle cap just slightly unscrewed.
Oh, no, a recipe for disaster.
Right. I can just imagine spills everywhere.
Yeah.
But what I thought was really interesting is they both talk about how accepting those little quirks
Yeah.
is actually like a key part of love after marriage.
It's like you're saying love is blind, but marriage lets you see everything.
Right.
But the beauty of it is love deepens when you embrace that reality.
Totally.
Quirks and all.
It makes me think about those early days in a relationship where you spend so much time trying to impress each other,
Absolutely.
putting your best foot forward.
Yeah.
But in a marriage, you're seeing each other at your most real,
At your most human.
your most human, yeah.
With all the flaws.
And choosing to love that person.
Yes.
Messy bits and all.
That's powerful.
It is so powerful.
It really is.
So we've got like this gym membership analogy for the commitment piece.
Right.
We've got the whole quirk factor for kind of the getting real part of marriage.
Uh-huh.
Where does this conversation go from here?
Well, next they move on to something that I think is really beautiful.
Okay.
This idea that marriage creates this unique bond through shared experiences.
Okay.
They actually describe it as becoming witnesses to each other's lives.
Witnesses.
I know, I love that phrase.
I like that. Tell me more.
So, of course, you're there for, the big milestones, right?
Yeah, the celebrations, the
Yeah,
challenges.
but it's more than that. You're also there for, the everyday
A
moment.
little victories.
Yes, the silly inside jokes,
The quiet evenings on the couch.
Yeah, just the day-to-day stuff.
And so over time,
Yeah.
that shared history, all those moments you've witnessed together,
Yeah,
it kind of weaves this incredible tapestry
it does.
of connection and trust.
It's like you're building this shared world, this language that only the two of you understand.
I love that a shared world.
Yeah.
It's so true.
And that becomes a source of strength and comfort.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that you're not alone. You know that someone has seen you at your best and your worst.
And they're still there.
Exactly, and they're still there.
That's such a beautiful way to think about it.
It is.
Like you're building a shelter together, brick by brick, experience by experience.
Sound like a foundation.
But I imagine even the sturdiest shelters
Oh.
have to weather a few storms now and then,
Well,
right?
absolutely. Even the strongest couples have differences.
Yeah.
They're not going to agree on everything.
And actually, Em and Max don't shy away from that at all.
No, they don't.
Like they use this hilarious example of trying to choose something to watch on TV.
Oh, yeah.
And you can just feel the tension in their playful banter.
It's relatable.
It is.
It all been there.
You know, something I've always found fascinating is how even couples that seem perfectly matched
Yeah.
can still bump heads over these seemingly trivial things.
Oh, totally.
Like Emma and Max with their TV show dilemma.
Uh-huh.
What are your thoughts on that?
I think it speaks to the fact that we all come into relationships with our own baggage,
Okay.
our own preferences.
Yeah, our own stubborn little ways.
Exactly. And sometimes those things clash.
Like those couples that argue over the right way to load the dishwasher.
Oh, yeah, that's a classic.
It's hilarious.
It is funny.
But I get it.
I get it, too.
We all have our ways.
We do.
But what Emma and Max emphasize is that you can't let those differences become deal breakers.
That's so important.
Right.
You have to find a way to work through them.
So they talk about the need for compromise.
Yes.
For choosing your battles.
Picking your priorities.
And remembering that sometimes it's okay to just let things go.
Absolutely.
Do they offer any strategies for, like, navigating those differences?
Oh, they definitely did.
Because, let's face it, we all want to be right about the dishwasher.
We do. It's human nature.
Yeah.
But before we dive into that,
Okay.
let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned so far.
Okay.
We've covered the commitment piece,
Uh-huh.
the quirk acceptance,
Yes.
the importance of shared experiences,
Mm-hmm.
and even touched on the challenges of navigating differences.
Right.
So where do you think this conversation is headed next?
Oh, yeah. Navigating those differences is key.
Right. Because you can build this amazing shelter together,
Uh-huh.
but sometimes you need to, rearrange the furniture.
Yeah, maybe add on an extension.
Maybe add on an extension,
You
exactly.
got to be flexible.
Or at least agree on the paint color.
Right. So what did Emma and Max say about handling those inevitable disagreements?
Well, first of all, they're big believers in not taking yourselves too seriously.
Okay.
Humor is a survival tactic in marriage.
Oh, yeah. I remember Max said that.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta laugh at the absurdity of it all.
Especially when you're bickering over something like,
I don't know which way the toilet paper roll should face.
oh, the toilet paper debate.
A classic.
Every couple has one.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But I think there's a bigger point there, right?
Absolutely.
About choosing your battles and remembering that sometimes it's okay to just let things go.
Exactly, picking your priorities.
Yeah, is it really worth getting into a fight over how the towels are folded?
Right. Or is it more important to maintain a sense of harmony and connection?
And I imagine that kind of ties into their emphasis on compromise.
Yes. Compromise is key.
Because no two people are going to agree on everything all the time.
It's impossible.
Right.
So you have to find ways to meet in the middle.
And compromise isn't about one person always giving in, right?
Right. No, not at all. It's about finding a solution that works for both of you.
Okay, so maybe you watch your show tonight and I get to pick tomorrow.
Exactly. Or you agree to try that new restaurant your partner's been wanting to check out.
Even if you're not so sure about it.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's about showing that willingness to be flexible.
Yeah.
To step outside your comfort zone sometimes.
Uh-huh.
And really prioritize your partner's happiness alongside your own.
That's a great way to put it.
And you know what? Sometimes those little acts of compromise
Yeah.
can actually strengthen your bond in unexpected ways.
It's true. You might discover a new favorite show.
Or realize that your partner's taste in restaurants isn't so bad after all.
Exactly.
Or at the very least, you've shown them that you care about their preferences.
And that goes a long way.
Which goes a long way in building trust and intimacy.
Absolutely.
And speaking of intimacy, Emma and Max had some really insightful things to say about how love is expressed
Yes.
in those small everyday moments.
Those little things that often go unnoticed.
But speak volumes
Yes.
about the depth of your connection.
It's true.
This is making me think about all those little things that my partner does that I probably take for granted.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Like how he always makes sure the coffee's ready for me in the morning,
Oh, that's sweet.
even though he doesn't drink it himself.
It's those little acts of service.
Yeah.
Those unspoken expressions of love.
Yeah, like remembering to pick up my favorite snack at the grocery store.
Yes. Or offering a foot rub after a long day.
Or doing the dishes when you know it's your turn.
Exactly. It's not just about doing those things. It's about noticing them,
Yeah.
appreciating them, and recognizing the love behind them.
So they're saying that love isn't always about those grand gestures or
Yeah.
extravagant gifts.
Right.
It's about being present
Being attentive.
and showing up for each other in those small, meaningful ways.
And learning to speak each other's love language.
Oh, yeah. That's so important.
Maybe your partner feels most loved when you offer words of affirmation, while you crave physical touch.
Right. We all experience and express it in different ways.
It's not one size fits all.
So true.
And, part of the beauty of a long-term relationship is figuring out those nuances.
Yeah.
Those little things that make your partner feel seen and cherished.
It's about becoming fluent in the language of each other's hearts.
That's beautiful.
Which brings us to the final and perhaps most profound point.
Okay.
That Emma and Max made love after marriage. It transforms.
It evolves, it deepens, it takes on new forms.
It becomes less about the fireworks and more about the steady glow of the embers.
I love that analogy.
That captures the essence of what they're saying.
Yeah, that love after marriage becomes less about the initial intensity and excitement.
And more about this enduring, unwavering connection.
A commitment to choosing love day after day.
Even when it's hard.
Even when you're feeling grumpy or exhausted.
Or annoyed by that little bit of milk left in the carton.
Exactly.
And it's about recognizing that love isn't a destination.
It's a journey.
A journey full of ups and downs.
Twists and turns.
And moments of both profound joy.
And let's be honest, occasional frustration.
But I think what I'm hearing from Emma and Max is that the journey itself,
Yeah.
the shared experiences, the challenges overcome, the compromises made,
The quiet moments of connection.
that's what makes love after marriage so special.
And so worth fighting for.
So worth fighting for.
Listening to them talk about their own experiences,
Right.
it really got me thinking about the bigger picture here.
Okay.
What does all of this tell us about the nature of love itself?
That's a great question.
And how can we apply these insights to our own lives?
Yeah.
Whether we're married in a long-term partnership or even just starting out on the path of love and connection.
That is such a great question and one that deserves a deep dive all its own.
It really does.
Let's explore that further after we take a moment to gather our thoughts.
Sounds good.
We'll be right back. All right, we are back.
Back again.
Ready to kind of connect these insights from Emma and Max's conversation to the bigger picture of love itself.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to unpack here.
What really stands out to you as we kind of wrap up this deep dive?
I kept thinking about how their experience with love after marriage really reflects like the broader journey of love in any form.
Okay.
It's about that shift,
Yeah.
from the initial spark to something deeper, more nuanced, more real.
Like you were saying before with the gym membership analogy,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
It's that consistent effort, the showing up day after day
It makes all the difference.
that really transforms the relationship.
Whether we're talking about a romantic partnership, a friendship, or even the love you have for your family.
Yeah, it applies across the board,
It's about choosing to nurture those connections, to put in the work,
even when it's challenging.
even when you'd rather just scroll through your phone.
Right, it's about being present, being intentional,
Yeah.
and remembering that love isn't just like a passive emotion.
No, it's an active choice.
Yeah, it's an active choice we make every single day.
And I think sometimes it's about choosing to embrace those imperfections too.
Oh, yeah.
Those quirks that make the people we love so unique.
Like all the funny stories that Emma and Max
Oh,
shared.
exactly.
Those quirks might be annoying sometimes.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But they also add like flavor humor depth to their relationship.
It's like love the one you're with, warts and all.
Warts and out.
Because, let's be honest, we all have our warts.
We all do.
And embracing those imperfections, both in ourselves and in the people we love,
Yes.
it's a key part of building those lasting, fulfilling relationships.
And it seems like another key ingredient is that willingness to compromise,
Oh, absolutely.
to find that middle ground
Yes.
where both people feel heard and respected.
Even if it means letting go of the need to always be right.
Letting go of the ego.
Exactly.
Compromise is huge.
It is.
It's about recognizing that you're part of a team.
a partnership.
Yeah, and sometimes the best way to win is to make sure everyone feels like they've contributed to the victory.
That's a great way to put it.
It's about choosing we over me,
Yes.
which I know can be tough sometimes,
Oh, it's not always easy.
especially when you're so used to prioritizing your own needs and desires.
But I think what Emma and Max have shown us is that the rewards of choosing are far greater
So much greater.
than the temporary satisfaction of getting our own way.
Because ultimately, love isn't about keeping score.
No, it's not a competition.
It's about creating a shared space
Yes.
where both people can thrive, grow, and
That's
feel
a-
supported.
A safe haven.
And where you can laugh together,
Yeah.
even when things get messy.
Even when you're disagreeing about something as trivial as the toilet paper roll.
The toilet paper roll and bacon, we're back to that.
Always a classic.
Sometimes a little bit of laughter
Yeah.
is all it takes to remind us that we're in this together.
Quirks and all.
Quirks and all.
And that's the beauty of love, isn't it?
It really is.
It's messy, it's unpredictable, it's full of challenges.
Yeah.
But it's also incredibly rewarding, enriching.
And ultimately what makes life worth living.
I couldn't agree more.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into love after marriage, I want to leave you with this question.
Okay.
What are some of those small, everyday ways you can show love to the people who matter most?
It doesn't have to be grand gestures.
No.
Maybe it's a phone call to a friend you haven't spoken to in a while.
Yeah.
Or a handwritten note expressing your gratitude to a loved one.
Or maybe it's just taking the time to truly listen
Without judgment.
when someone needs to share their heart.
Those little things can make a world of difference.
Because sometimes those small acts of love, those seemingly insignificant gestures,
They can have a ripple effect,
they really can.
spreading outward far beyond ourselves.
So thanks for joining us on this journey of exploration and insight.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, keep choosing love. Keep nurturing those connections.
And remember, the adventure is just beginning.
Adventure's just beginning.